What is project scope? What are the differences between project and product scope? Project scope encompasses the aspect of project planning dedicated to identifying and recording a comprehensive list of distinct project objectives, outcomes, activities, financial estimates, and timelines. The formal documentation outlining the project's scope is referred to as a scope statement or terms of reference. This document delineates the project's boundaries, assigns responsibilities to individual team members, and establishes protocols for the validation and approval of completed work. The scope statement also provides the team with guidelines for making decisions about change requests during the project. When documenting a project's scope, stakeholders should be as specific as possible to avoid scope creep. Effective scope management requires good communication. That ensures everyone on the team understands the extent of the project and agrees upon exactly how the project's goals will be met. How to define the scope of a project? To determine scope, project managers must collect requirements for what the stakeholders need from the project. This includes the following: project's objective and deliverables, the duration of the project, the budget, the importance of defining a project's scope. The benefits a project scope statement provides to any organization undertaking a new initiative include the following. The project scope articulates the involved tasks for all stakeholders' understanding, offering a roadmap for managers to allocate tasks, schedule work, and budget effectively. It aids in aligning team members towards shared goals and prevents projects, especially complex ones, from deviating beyond the defined vision. Writing a project scope statement. A project scope statement is a written document that includes all the required information for producing the project deliverables. Therefore, it involves all the works, processes, methods required to deliver the project deliverables. In other words, the action you do to perform your product is the scope of your project. Once the project scope statement is completed and approved, project managers can assign tasks and give their teams directions on what they need to do to meet the target timelines, budget, and goals. Scope planning and management. Every project has a budget, an expected finish date, deliverables, and risks. Agreed requirements and tasks create the scope of the project. Variations in the scope may cause problems such as delays, budget overruns, and another kind of risks. Scope is the determination of what is included in and what is excluded from the project. Adding features and functionality without addressing the effects on time, costs, and resources, or without customer approval is called as scope creep. Scope creep is when more work is tacked onto a project while it is underway. It can add costs and unnecessary work, while distracting from the objectives and threatening the quality of the intended deliverables. What is product scope? The product scope can be defined as the features and functions that characterize a product. In other words, it defines and details the features, characteristics of a product, service, or result. Therefore, it involves technical specifications, features, functions required to represent a product itself. Simply put, the product scope focuses on how the product will look and how will it work. The product can be described as the output or the end result of a project. For example, your company will produce a computer. The product is the computer and its scope will include its dimensions, battery size, processor speed, screen resolution, memory capacity, etc. Example. Suppose that you will build a mansion for your client. The client defines the requirements such as the size of the rooms, number of bathrooms, floor covering materials, door colors, and other features. The mansion is the product and the client's requirements are the scope. You received the product scope from the client. In order to build the mansion, you will create the project schedule, prepare the budget, and hire employees. You will perform all the construction work and related processes such as health and safety and quality management. All the works and processes that you will perform to construct the mansion are the scope of the project. The difference between project scope and product scope. The project scope is the work that is required to deliver the product. The scope of the project refers to all the work and processes required to be done to deliver the product, and the product scope refers to technical specifications, features, functions of the product itself. The product scope focuses on the features of the end product and the project scope focuses on the work needed to deliver the product. The product scope can also be included in the project scope. Defining project scope is an important step in project planning and management. Before a project begins, project managers need to understand what the scope of the project is to determine what must be done and what falls outside of the project. Project scope is defined in the scope statement, a document that provides the objectives, schedules, tasks, and deliverables of a project. Scope statements align stakeholders' expectations and give projects a framework for success.